So, um, so basically, I wanted to talk about, I wanted to kind of, hey guys, so in this video, I'm more so talking about the meaning of, two of the songs I've created recently that were more so demos, um, which was Can't Stop Thinking About You, and the other one was I Don't Want to Be Lukewarm, or Are You Lukewarm? Um so basically what the meaning of those two songs is, I'm gonna start at the beginning of what led me to create those songs. Uh so all this time I was living with my aunt and uncle for the past 3 years, since more so late 2018, and I got saved in April of 2019 and was lukewarm for a while and stuff like that. So I had a big stage of lukewarmness. Well, not only that, but I never really gave completely my life to God. Um, you know, never really gave my life to God when I was saved. I The thing that my okay, I'm not gonna talk about my testimony. If I'm gonna talk about like the testimony alone, it's pretty basic. It's pretty a little boring. So basically, it was just I didn't like the Bible, or no, I made fun of the whole thing, and I didn't take it seriously, and it annoyed me. And when I was living with them, things just started connecting from having to go to like these youth groups and stuff, just stuff like that. That led me to finally one day, while I was working on a few school books, because my 6th year I was homeschooled, um, where uh, because I used to like to lay down a lot when I did work, and I was just laying down doing my work and kind of thought, what am I waiting for? Because I kind of felt this sense of pride. I acknowledge it now. I didn't acknowledge it then. It didn't have a name to it then, but pretty much that's what happened for me to lead off to that. Um, Obviously, there's a lot more that happened before that, but I'm not gonna get into it. So, you know, I became a Christian because I called myself Christian, but I was more so an atheist. Um, where, when I was living with them, I accepted Christ, and I had a bunch of stages of uh, homosexuality and transgenderism, and I had this whole phase where I did a lot of the bike outside, but did a lot of cutting and stuff like that. That It wasn't until actually this year, 2021, beginning, where I actually decided to start living for God completely, and started really, really taking it seriously. Because previously I had a lot of unrepented sin of, like I said, transgenderism, sexuality, because in the past I've been a cross-dresser, I've been trans, and I've been a femboy, which is the last one's pretty rare because I'm sure you don't hear a lot of people that say, "Oh yeah, I was a femboy," and say, "Oh yeah, I'm a Christian now." But I had all those stages, and it was this year where I really started to take it seriously, and pretty much that's where I was coming from. Because now I live with my mom. I live with my mother now. Um, you know, my dad doesn't live with my mom. It's broken homes. Um, but I don't hold any grudges about that or anything like that. But I used to, but not anymore. But yeah, I started to live with my mom, and you know, I graduated from my private Christian middle school over, you know, where I went at my aunt and uncle's, and it was actually kind of cool because previously that year, I almost got expelled for harassment of another male student, and because there were loving people, very loving people. Instead of their parents being like all angry about it, they actually cried for me and prayed for me, which even now it's very hard to understand how they could do that instead of being angry, because you know they're going to a private school, because you know, a lot of public schools are exposing so much of these bad things to people that, you know, it makes sense for somebody to be at a private school. But you know, I graduated from there. I came to my now this is a lot of backstory for this, a little bit too much probably, but I came to my mom's, and I decided to live here because after I was done with 7th grade, I had the option to live here. And I was doing this whole transgender thing or stuff like that. Or actually, wait. No, after I was done with 6th grade, I think I had the, or wait, was it? No. After I was done with 6th grade, I was anorexic and stuff like that. And it was after that year that I was doing this whole cross. No, that was the same year I was doing cross dressing. And then there was, I'm losing track of time, but you get the point with that. So I had or have still go to the school. I had to go to this public school in California. You know, being a freshman going to public school, you know, I was thinking that maybe I could find Christian friends, maybe I could, you know, start something there, maybe I could start something. What is that noise? Something in my faith. But it's still okay, I'm actually concerned, but I went to this public school, and I was alone for the first few weeks, not gonna lie. I was very lonely. That time between like that month of August, before say the 28th, I don't know exactly, but just say the 28th of August. From the beginning of August to that, to the 28th, I was alone. You know, I would sit down by myself at lunch. I would eat alone, and I was very insecure, and I was very scared. And I, you know, I was just scared of just talking to people and stuff like that. But you know, I go to this program that hosts like these after school clubs. You know, it's a high school, got clubs. Why did I sound so dumb saying that? Got clubs. But you know, I was in the main room for that program, and I just went there just for fun. It wasn't like I was waiting for my mom to pick me up or anything. It's just I wanted to be there. And I was curious about it. And I met this girl. Should I say her name? You might. I don't know if she'll watch this. I'll say her name. Her name was Eileen. Her name. Please don't make any jokes. Only a few people to understand what I meant by. I met her at this. Well, I met her at the program, but I really talked to her at a football game. That happened around that time, the 28th, 30th, something like that. And you know, I was all cuddly to this girl and stuff like that, and I was laying on her lap, and I began to have interest in her. Because, you know, being in a Christian school, where you're kind of just, you're, you know, it's a closed space, quote unquote, where you don't have too many opportunities that's like that. So, and and back then I used to have this very bad problem, where I was looking for a dominant figure, or fatherly figure, for some odd reason. And I'm not saying my dad was bad. My dad is not bad. But it was just something that I looked forward to. That I liked this girl, and I was fairly interested in her just from that one day of you know, the football game, which we did not even watch the football game. But you know, later on, you know, 2 weeks after that, 2.5 weeks after that, you know, she's a junior, by the way, and I'm a freshman, so that's already putting standards at a very difficult level, I guess, to balance out, because, you know, she's at a higher, okay, well, just, her brain's more developed than mine, even though that I'm the age of a sophomore, grade wise, you know, she's already dipped her feet in a lot of things. so that are hard to, you know, just hard to get off. Which I'm not just saying necessarily bad things, I'm just saying set in her ways. More so than I am. But you know, later on 2 weeks later, into a relationship. Now obviously a lot of things happened in between this time of kind of our eagerness, our interest in each other kind of developed over that time. So for me to say that in 5 seconds is not enough to really explain what I mean by that. But yeah, and later on I ended up 2 weeks later I ended up taking her to the movies. And we did not watch the movie. We made out pretty much the entire movie. I don't know how comfortable I feel saying that. But while we were doing that whole thing, she would pull my hair and just treat me in a dominant way. And I kind of placed her in this dominant position. That yeah, it was just, I put her in a position that was not biblical at all. And the "Are You Lukewarm" song, that's where that was coming from. Because these are 2 separate times in the story. So the "Are You Lukewarm," I created that song when this stuff was happening, or was creating this song. Even though it's a very simple song, I wanted to create something that explained how I felt. Because I'm not exactly the most confrontational type. I get very scared, very shy, and freeze up a lot of the time when I'm scared and stuff like that. So, you know, I was creating that song because a lot of the times after me and her would have these moments, I would, you know, be at home, or I would be riding my bike home or something like that, or I'd be walking, where I would be thinking of these things, and I'd be thinking of, what am I doing? You know, this, I was there's a lot of stories, or a lot of things that I've known of just, it's heartbreaking things for me at least, of when somebody's, you know, on fire for God, just for them to later not so on fire. That there's a lot of noise happening right now, but yeah, and I had to, you know, I had to, just for this. But wow, there's like every noise ever to exist happening right now. So yeah, all this was happening, and I made "Are You Lukewarm?" Because even though I was asking the listener or the viewer, "Are you lukewarm?" I was asking myself that, because I was in a state where I was living very unbiblically, relationship wise, because in a sexual matter, I was putting her in this dominant position. Now, even though I don't when I say sexual, I don't mean like I lost my virginity. I'm still a virgin, and I'm gonna keep it that way. Or at least I am trying very hard to keep it that way. Um, because I already know later on if I do lose it, I'm going to regret it. I already know that. Um, a lot. And I'm gonna be like every other Christian on YouTube that's like, or wherever you're watching this on, that's like, well, I really regret doing this. I wish I would have waited until, I got married. But, you know, I was putting in this position. And also during this time, she did a lot of smoking. She started going off onto smoking because, after COVID and everything, you know, and everybody's going back to physical school, it feels weird. Everybody feels weird. I went to a physical when the whole COVID thing happened. I went every other day. So like, say Monday I don't go, Tuesday I would go, Wednesday I don't go, Thursday I would go to school physically. And there's two groups, group A and group B. It was we were trying to make it work. School was trying to make it work. And I didn't even have really that many field trips, but I mean it was still enjoyable. But all this was happening, and she was going off onto smoking, and I remember her asking me this, like, thing of how would you feel if I were to smoke and stuff like that. And I don't have very good memories with stuff like with drinking and drugs and just substances used to make people feel good in that manner. I just don't. I just. But she was doing that, and I was very emotional about it, and he ended up actually making me cut. And no, that's not a good way to put it. He didn't make me cut. I made the choice to. But she made me very stressed. In a fashion where as a freshman at least, I shouldn't be this stressed. Because that should be their own business. I shouldn't have to deal with that. And yeah, basically. So after that whole thing, I don't know how to go from here, but sorry. But wow, I really look fat. My neck looked like but so yeah. Uh, she was doing a lot of smoking and behind my back and stuff like that. And she was around friends of hers I really did not like. And also, one of the people that she hanged out with, this girl sexually harassed me during one of the weeks that I was in September that was going to school. That also is a junior. um, but basically this whole thing was happening, and I broke up with her. And then there was just after I tried ignoring her for about a week and a half, and then there was finally a day where I just typed on a notepad, because when I get shy for some reason, I type on people's notepad, their phone. Please don't make fun of me for that. Or please don't do the opposite of that and call it cute, because stop. Not right now. Even though I'm an emo kid, you know, come on, let's be real. So yeah, I was typing to her because the day previously to that, I was being all cuddly to her. And I was sitting down, and I was laying against her shoulder and trying to hold her hand, while I was also interested in this other girl. And then the girl that I was, Eileen, she really did bring a lot of drama. Not, and it's actually sad because somehow, some way, she brought a lot of drama indirectly. She brought a lot of drama indirectly. And so while this whole thing was happening, you know, I typed on one of her friend's notepads to give to her that that she can't let me do that, because, you know, broke up with her. You know, I'm trying to get over her. I still have feelings for her, and I broke up with her because word by word I said I didn't see her in God's plan for me, and he really did not like that. And one of the red flags was she wanted me to do not what God wanted to do, but what I wanted to do. That was a red flag for me. That was a very red flag for me, because, you know, my faith, or just God in general, has defined me as a person a whole lot. I honestly do not know who I would be if it wasn't for God. I don't know. I have no clue. I can't even begin to imagine how I would be. Probably not good. A good thing either. But I'm very thankful for how just it's changed me. But or he's changed me, what I mean. But yeah, I was pretty much telling her that she can't let me do that, and I felt like this girl was better for me, which was not the best thing to say. And she started crying, and I didn't know, because the bell rang. It was the morning, where breakfast was being served and stuff like that. And she started crying. And she, after school, in the after school program, she got one of her friends to pass me a note of saying for me to meet her at the theater, and her seeing her cry and stuff like that really affected me to the point where I don't want to say it like this because it seems a little rude. I'm gonna be completely honest. She made me cave in a manipulative manner. Because a lot of this time she was very manipulative. um towards me. You know, with my whole faith thing, and just she, I don't know. She more so thought about herself more than she thought what was actually best for me. And a few days later, like a week and a half later, we got together again, which was like 2 weeks ago from now. We got together again. Wasn't this week? It was the last week. It was the week. Got together again. Why in the world? What? Bro, what is happening? Okay, I don't even know if you guys can hear that, but there's a lot of people screaming outside for some weird reason. Strangely, at 8:33 p.m. Okay. But like I was saying, yeah, this whole thing was happening, and that's when I started production on this, you know, because there was a lot of time where we would make out and we would be down the floor and the wall and just all that type of okay. It was kinky stuff, or it was just unbiblical, straight out. It was kinky stuff. And that's when I started production on Can't Stop Thinking About You, which Can't Stop Thinking About You, it has some meaning to decipher to it, because Can't Stop Thinking About You, when is it means a deadline. It's referring to a deadline. When's the deadline? And then the first paragraph where I actually rap, kind of ish, where I said like, the deadline has come, my dear, to depart from my heart. So the deadline to a relationship has come, my dear, to depart from my heart, which, you know, what I want, what my sinful flesh desires. And then I say, God told me to guard it, and I fell apart, got close to door, which I got close to being lukewarm. Or more so, leading off to a path that was forgetful of everything that God has done for me. And at this time, I felt very ungrateful, or I felt like I was being very ungrateful for everything that God has done for me, just for me to do this. And it's that life I could have lived. So, you know, you can already tell what that means. Life I could have lived, quote unquote, without God. No. Take that back. Why did I say that? A life I could have lived, I'd feel satisfied for a little bit. But the bird kept crowing in my ear to realize the flaw in our love, my dear. That's a very basic meaning to that. Crowing. Think of the crow. You know, Peter. Jesus said that Peter would deny Jesus 3 times, or the crow crowed for the 3rd time. Now, I wasn't going by number, obviously, but I was going off that concept. The bird kept crying in my ear to realize fought and I love my, which meant that I was rejecting God for this girl, pretty much, as a lifestyle. And yeah, I created that song and I showed her on Instagram. I was like, "Hey, do you like the song? And the lyrics?" And she said, "Oh yeah, it was cool." And it's funny because days ago on or no, not 2 days ago, yesterday, this girl that I was interested in, and I also went I forgot to say this, but last week on Saturday, I went to homecoming with Eileen when I was actually supposed to go with the school. So that was already a bad thing to start with. But I was telling, this girl all about what Eileen was doing, all about how she was manipulative towards me, and all that stuff. Because even though I'm not saying exactly how she was being manipulative, because I'm not trying to make this like an hour video, even though it's already 36 minutes, almost 37. 37 now. But yesterday I realized, or I found out that one of the CAPS teachers, or no, take that back. Like Monday, I found out one of the CAPS teachers actually knew about all that because I texted the girl. I was about to say her name. I texted the girl all about what Eileen was doing, and she read a lot of it. And this woman that went to this Yaps thing felt very bad for me, and she was talking to me, having this talk with me of and she said, "I can feel like you're," because this woman's an atheist. Even though that she was an atheist, she was still very helpful, but she understood very basic concepts. Well, obviously she's a 25-year-old woman, but a lot of 25-year-olds now, at least, very, and I'm saying that as somebody who's 10 years younger than them. But I was talking this girl, a woman, at the Yaps program. She was one of the official people there, staff, and because I was scared of being harmed for breaking up with her again, because the day before homecoming dance on Friday, I was feeling very bad that day, and people were not treating me the great. Where I said mean things to her, and they weren't really mean things, but they're, if we're going on a meanness scale of 1 out of 10, I would say 10 being the highest. I would say that it was a 4.5. Maybe at most 6 at most, which that's exaggerated. If I'm being like super duper technical, but I was scared of getting harmed, physically beat up, and this girl was talking to me, and she was saying things um, that she acknowledged the fact that I could see, because she knew I was Christian. Um, he said he was able to acknowledge that I don't know if I would really put it the way that she would put it, but she was saying, quote unquote, because she knew this girl was dominant. She said that I was struggling with my faith slash identity, and she said, I don't know if that's sexuality, if that's gender, which no, it's not. I would say I was really struggling with living right, or obediently, or by faith. And but that basic, I was able to make my own concept out of that. That gave me courage to break up with her. And when I was saying the deadline to a relationship, guess what? That deadline was yesterday. Me having to live, you know, in that unbiblical relationship where I felt guilty for ignoring God and felt horrible. Thing that I put myself through. It was totally my fault. Finally over. And obviously it's gonna be hard to completely get over this girl, but I'm very happy that finally. My uncle is gonna actually visit me tomorrow. Well, I'm really making this a diary, bro. But my uncle's visiting me tomorrow, and it's gonna be really nice to see him after everything that's been happening. But oh, those two songs I created recently. The other song, where it's like "Are You With Me?" That was a part of the songs I was, but that was more. That was not as like I didn't make that because with the same motive of kind of just making a song of how I felt in my battle with try to be with this dominant girl, which I already knew I shouldn't, but I was struggling with departing from her, I guess. And yeah, but that's what I was going through, and I guess that's the end of this video. Also though, I'm making a Christian lo-fi EP. So if somehow you're still watching 44 minutes, because if you're still watching at 44 minutes, you're kind of weird, bro. Not finna lie. But you know, just watching emo kid just talk, like a lot of people at PE call me emo kid. They don't even know my name. Either that or they just like call me emo kid. I don't know. But so thank you if you are still watching. Christian Lo-Fi EP comes out next month. Near mid to end November. Also, my birthday is November 21st. I don't know what I'm talking about. All these right. These are more so final mentions. before I want to end this video. All that's happening. A lot of things are gonna happen, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And who knows, I might end up making a official music video or a song that I have in mind if I decide to put which lyrics. There's some instrumental, there's some not. And I haven't even written any lyrics, so I don't know. But thank you everybody for watching. I know I got baby hands. Thank you everybody for watching. And if you really are watching, which is unlikely, I actually mean that. Thank you. Because it means a lot that somebody's actually listening to actually caring what I gotta say. That deadline has come, and I'm super hyped about it. And I'm not going to go back into it. Even if that means getting beat up, a lot of pain, all that. But thank you. Now, there's actually food that I'm actually supposed to be eating right now. So, I'm gonna end this video. I'm gonna go eat that. Cause I'm hangry, cause I'm fat. I mean, kind of. Not really, but mentally speaking, I'm pretty fat. Okay, I'm gonna end this video. No, I need to stop. I'm gonna make this a 60-minute video with 20 minutes of nonsense at the end. So I'm gonna stop.